heart of India, during the 16th century, a dynasty rose to power, majestic, mighty, and monumental, the Mughals. Born Jalaluddin Muhammad in the rugged Umarkot fort, Akbar ascended the throne at just 13 under the guidance of his regent, Bairam Khan. Through relentless warfare, Akbar expanded the Mughal empire far beyond the north, almost touching the Godavari river. He forged a new ruling elite, promoted cultural harmony, and introduced Din-i Ilahi, a syncretic faith aimed at bridging India's religious divide. Akbar encouraged commerce with European traders, planting the seeds of global trade. Akbar's son, Salim, named after Sufi saint Salim Chishti, became Jahangir, the conqueror of the world. Yet Jahangir's reign was marred by opium addiction, court rivalries, and a struggle for control. Unlike Akbar, he sought favor with the Islamic religious establishment, shifting the empire's ideological course. With Shah Jahan, the empire reached the zenith of Mughal architecture, building marvels like the Taj Mahal, symbol of eternal love and power. But the cost of magnificence grew unsustainable, straining the empire's coffers. Shah Jahan's heir, Dara Shikoh, championed unity between Hinduism and Islam, but fate had other plans. With the backing of Orthodox clergy, Aurangzeb defeated Dara and imprisoned his own father, seizing the throne with an iron will. While some call him a religious tyrant, others highlight his inclusion of Hindus in administration and his pragmatic governance. Yet his repressive policies ignited fierce Maratha resistance led by Shivaji, shaking the empire's very foundation. After Aurangzeb's death, the once mighty Mughal empire began to fracture. Though Bahadur Shah first tried reform, after his death, chaos reigned. In just 1 year, 1719, 4 emperors were crowned and discarded. The real power fell to a brotherhood. The Sayyid brothers as emperors became mere puppets. European trading companies were still humble petitioners, unaware they would soon inherit what the Mughals lost. From Akbar's vision to Aurangzeb's rigidity, the Mughal empire's story is one of grandeur, ambition, and eventual decline, a lesson in the rise and fall of empires. Jama Masjid, rising from the heart of Shahjahanabad, stands a timeless marvel of Mughal grandeur. This is Masjid-i-Jahannam, the mosque that reflects the world, better known today as Jama Masjid. Commissioned by Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan between 1650 and 1656, Jama Masjid was built at the highest point of his capital. It became the imperial mosque of the empire, a symbol of faith, power, and artistic ambition. Approach the eastern gate, a 3-story sandstone entrance once reserved for the emperor himself. Beyond lies a vast courtyard paved in red sandstone. Spanning nearly 100 meters across, the Sahn could host up to 25,000 worshippers. At its heart, a white marble tank for wudu, ritual purification. Open arcades wrap around the courtyard, while elegant chhatris rise at each corner, silent sentinels of centuries past. Step into the prayer hall where 3 grand marble domes soar above. Adorned with golden finials, they gleam under the sun, flanked by towering minarets at each end. Each minaret stands 41 meters tall. Ascend 130 steps to reach balconies with panoramic views of Delhi, a sacred watch over the bustling city below. Within, Mughal elegance meets serenity. Inspired by earlier mosques in Fatehpur Sikri and Agra, yet Jama Masjid stands apart, its white marble accents glowing against the red sandstone. invasions, revolts, and colonial rule, Jama Masjid remained more than a place of worship. It was a stage for politics, a voice of resistance, and a living legacy. Even today, as Azan echoes through its arcades, Jama Masjid stands as a bridge between eras, a monument not only of marble and stone, but of memory and faith. Jama Masjid, not just a mosque, but a mirror to the soul of Delhi. We hope you all liked this 11th episode of Historical Monuments of Delhi. Stay tuned for the next episode. Your friend Ravindra Kumar Gupta, RKG.